Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my review of Inside Llewyn Davis. This is for the August Alphabet Challenge that I'm doing. We are on, of course, the letter I, hence Inside Llewyn Davis. This is a Coen Brothers film and it stars Oscar Isaac, whose name I nearly just forgot. It also co-stars John Goodman and a whole host of other people, Carey Mulligan. And it follows this character, Llewyn Davis, who, beginning of the kind of revival of the folk music scene with Bob Dylan in the early 60s. This is just kind of just pre-Dylan, just as Dylan's about to come onto the scene. Isaac's character is this folk singer who's trying to make it, trying to sell his record. He's playing in clubs and stuff. He's really dissatisfied with life, with where he is, and feels like his talents should be taking him somewhere. And it's just about him it's just about him. And he's coasting through life and what's going to happen to him. There isn't that much of a story really to this film or plot. It's mostly about this character, and it's just him kind of bumbling around from one situation to the next, and it all really hinges on whether or not we can identify with him, whether or not he's likable, lovable enough to want to follow him around for the length of time of this film. And the answer to that question is yes. Thanks in large part to Oscar Isaac, who's an incredible actor anyway, one of my favourites. But brilliant performance in this. I don't know if he got nominated. I'd be surprised if he didn't. But if he didn't, he certainly deserved to. Great performance in this film, not least of which just from the performance side of things with the music as well. He's playing the guitar, he's doing all his own singing. I'd buy a folk record by Oscar Isaac if he released this stuff. I even downloaded the playlist actually after watching this film. The playlist because I couldn't find the album on Spotify. It didn't seem to release the Inside Llewyn Davis full album on Spotify, so I had to download a playlist. But I loved the music in this film. I kind of like folk music anyway, but as soon as I watched this, I wanted to listen to it, so I downloaded a playlist. And really great music across the board throughout the film. But again, like I say, Oscar Isaac's performance in that is fantastic. Really good player. I really like this character. He's flawed, but as I think it was the Coen Brothers who said, I saw a making of documentary after watching it. It was either them or someone else who was on the documentary said that basically we're coming into this guy's life during the worst week of his life. So there are a lot of things that he says and does that are maybe a bit distasteful, maybe make him look like a bit of a jerk. But yet he's still lovable, because in many cases he's right. When he gets upset by certain things and he kind of becomes aggressive towards certain people, there's a little hint of truth in some of the things he says and does, where you're kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't have gone about it the way you do, but I kind of understand what you're saying. Like there's one point in the film which I never thought about before, but he blows up at this woman who's supposed to be a friend, but they so her and her husband kind of force a guitar upon him, and they're like, play something for us. And then he goes nuts about, and he says to the husband, you're a lecturer, I don't come around to your house to dinner or invite you around to my house for dinner and say, get up and start lecturing, which is true. I've never thought about that before. And it's like we do that a lot with people we know who can play music, don't we? We kind of put them on the spot. We say, play something. It's like if we know someone's a comedian and we go, tell something funny. It's like, no. It's like, that's a job. I have to work on that before I go on the stage and do that stuff. So things like that, he goes about it in the wrong way, but he's kind of right, So Yeah, there's this character played by Carey Mulligan, who's a very angry character, angry towards him, and it turns out that she may or may not be pregnant with his baby. But the more that is revealed over the course of this movie, the more I dislike her, and the more I'm in his corner. And again, it's not that he's better than her. It's not that he's not done wrong, but she just reveals herself, I think. And I guess it's a case of the lesser of two evils, where first you start out thinking that maybe he is everything she says he is, but as the movie goes on, you kind of start to think, well, actually, no, I'm not sure he is. I think you're just as bad, if not worse, to be quite honest. So I think things like that make you fall in love with the character all the more, because he's a bit of a vagabond, but he's kind of caught in a world of vagabonds. So yeah, no, I liked it. Again, it's because I like this character. It's the Coen Brothers typical writing. They find ways to bring humour out of situations that probably shouldn't be quite humorous. They once again bring in John Goodman, who's kind of their lucky token, I guess. He's just, John Goodman's always good in a Coen Brothers movie, isn't he? I mean, I said this about Flight just 2 days ago when I reviewed Flight. John Goodman is, perhaps along with Christopher Walken, is like a king of cameos, king of supporting roles, and certainly here he's got a very devilish quality about him in this role. He could almost be the devil, I think, in this role, masquerading as a disabled man. There's one moment in which he threatens Llewyn Davis, and it's full of menace. It's just like, and you kind of think there's no way you could do this. There's no way you could take him because look at you're crippled. But because of the way he says it, just the way John Goodman says it, you believe him. You believe this guy could be a threat. Again, like I say, I think that's all on Goodman. John Goodman's just one of those actors who can be the biggest, softest puppy dog in the room, or he can be the scariest guy in the room, depending on how he plays it. Very much like Philip Seymour Hoffman was. Incredible actor. So, again, like I say, there's no story of which to speak. He goes on a bit of a road trip at one point, but it's more about the character interactions. It's a Homer's Odyssey kind of thing, which obviously the Coen Brothers have kind of alluded to throughout much of their work and done very similar kind of storytelling. You know, they tend to throw in a mixed bag of characters and just let them interact and see what humour comes out of it. But no, I liked this guy, even though a lot of the times I probably shouldn't. I like the fact that he's not all bad because he wants to protect this cat. There's a moment. So he accidentally lets his friend's cat out of the house, but gets locked out. So then he has to take it with him, and then he's carting this flipping cat around with him all over the place. But I like the tenacity that he has to keep going after this cat when perhaps others might just say, "Oh, sod it, stupid cat, on your head be it." But no, he keeps going after this cat, and I feel like there's something in there just about who this character is, the fact that he tries so hard to keep hold of that cat. Now, unfortunately, there is a scene later on in the film when he gives up on that, when he no longer, and he kind of shuts the door on the cat, and that's very symbolic of him just giving up in general, I think, on life. But up until then, I feel like his drive to succeed in his music is almost caught up with his desire to look after this cat and make sure it stays safe and make sure he doesn't abandon it. So yeah, it's really great. It's typical Coen Brothers. When Coen Brothers are on form, I really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 from me. I wouldn't say it was Coen's best film, but then look at their back catalogue. They've got some amazing work, but it's a really great film. Just a nice little character study, I think. So yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, I want to know what you thought about it. So please leave your comments about Inside Llewyn Davis down below in the comment section. Please also do check out the links in the description for the August Alphabet Challenge. If you want to find out a bit more about it or you want to donate. If you can't donate, please, as I've said before, share this video, share the link to it so that more people can watch it, so that more people can donate, hear about the cause. That would be a real great help. But yeah, until tomorrow, when I will be moving on to the letter J. I had to check my alphabet there for a moment. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and until then, cracking.